Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received, and the translation reads like this. It is a response from our sister who is responding to that other lady who was saying that she is married to a ritualist and she is proud of that. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman who is currently working here in South Africa. I was once married to a wealthy man who did rituals, and my family, they knew each and every detail, and I nearly died after I fell pregnant by mistake, and he was not supposed to have kids. And I feel so sorry for this South African woman, and I can safely say that she is like under a demonic influence, and as long as she is in that environment, staying with her occultic husband, she will think that everything that they are doing, it is okay. But the day that she is going to walk away, she will see that everything that she was doing, she was worshiping at the altar of the devil. And when I met my husband, I really never thought that he was a ritualist. But in time, I started to understand the reason as to why he had picked me up from the street, yet he was of a higher class, and I was just a poor girl who was a street vendor. I was married to a rich ritualist, and I want to warn other women out there, you need to verify where your partner's money comes from. That woman, I feel so sorry for him, but I see myself in her. She is under the influence of a demon. Please tell her that I am not judging her. One day she is going to open her eyes and she is going to see that the devil will never give you a gift for free. One day, the devil is going to demand that she pays a full price. She might enjoy the money today, but there is going to come a day when she is going to pay with her blood. I know what I am talking about. I know how good it feels to be married to a man that is wealthy. When you were born in a very poor family, then all of a sudden you are this woman that is respected by everyone. You are this woman who can take care of all of your father's relatives, who can take care of all of your mother's relatives. It is like very addictive. And when you look at your husband, you do not see a person that is initiating you into something that is demonic, but you see him as someone that is saving you, your savior. So that woman in that video who is saying that she inserts eggs for rituals, and she was even boasting about it. Let her be, let her enjoy her Nigerian man, let her stay in the estates. She is not the first one to stay in an estate. I also stayed in an area where most of the richest people that can be found in our country, they are known to stay, build big mansions there. I was staying there, and when I walked out with nothing. When I came to South Africa, I started working as a maid. As I am speaking with you right now, I am so scared sometimes to walk around because of the way that I used to mistreat my husband's workers. Sometimes I even ask myself, what is going to happen to me if it happens that one day I meet one of the people that used to work for my ex-husband with the way that I used to mistreat them, like our maid. We had this other maid. She was very young. I used to call her very stupid because I hated her. I was in that environment where I was doing these satanic rituals, and this made me to be very heartless when I was dealing with other poor people. I will just hate them for no reason at all. I would sometimes go out maybe for a couple of hours. I will take out all of my clothes that were dirty and not dirty, and I would say that this is what you're going to do. You are going to mop the entire mansion with the many rooms, and after that you're going to finish this whole laundry. And if I would return back before she had finished the laundry, I would beat her up. I would tell her to take the wooden cooking stick, and after that, then she was supposed to come and kneel down in front of me, and I would say, let me beat you. I will beat her on the knuckles for not being able to finish her job in time. As for the gardener, I hated him the most. I thought that he was just a stupid, wasted thing, and God had made a mistake by creating such a human being. I would shout at him at all the times. I saw myself as someone that was never going to return back to poverty, someone that was going to enjoy for the rest of her life. As for my husband's family, when he told me that he was a ritualist, he told me that he only gets money when his relatives were suffering in life. So I was supposed to assist him to make his relatives to suffer. I remember very well that my mother-in-law, she had ulcers, and she was told to eat at least basmati rice and not to eat parboiled rice. She then came to the city from the village. When she came to the city, you know what I did, Brother Nashi? I had 20 kg of basmati rice that I kept in the pantry. I took it and I hid it in my bedroom. I then went out and I bought a small gas stove, and I used to cook my food that I would eat with my husband in the bedroom. And my husband, he would come and he would hug me and say that I love you because you understand my situation. The more that my mother suffer, the more that we make money, my baby. I never knew that one day, the same way that I used to make his husband to suffer, I was also going to suffer. And I would cook the rice, and then I would go downstairs and prepare the parboiled rice for my mother-in-law. Yet I knew that this would make her to even become more sick. The day when I met my husband, I was working close to this other fuel station, and I was busy selling some frozen juices. And then that was when he came to me and he told me that he wanted to buy one frozen juice. He drove a white BMW X6. I met him in Masasa, and when he said that he wanted to speak with me, I liked the way that he smelled. He smelled so sweet, and the perfume was so beautiful. I later found out that it was a ritual oil that we used to go and get in Nigeria. It was very quiet, and he was very kind towards me. He pulled out $100 and he told me that he wanted to buy a frozen juice, which was like maybe 50 cents. And I was like, God, why do you want to punish me? Because since morning and now it was in the afternoon, there was no one who had even bought anything. So I wanted to cry. That was when he asked me why I wanted to cry. That was when I told him that the money that he had given to me, it was too much. And then that was when he said, you can keep the change. Before he had drove off, he then said, come here. He then asked me if I could give him my phone numbers. I laughed and I said, me give you my phone number? And he said, why are you laughing? And I said, I don't even have a phone, and I don't think that I'll ever own a phone in my entire life with the way that I am broke. That was when he said, okay, let me write for you my phone numbers. As he was writing his phone numbers on a piece of paper, that was when he said, no. If I give you this phone number, you are never going to contact me. This is what we are going to do. I am going to give you my phone and I am going to call you. He then told me that I was supposed to check his phone. If there was a number written Charles that was going to call, I was supposed to pick up the phone, and if there was another number, I was not supposed to pick up the call. So then I said, it is fine. I took the phone and my hands were shaking, and he was like, why are you shaking? And then that was when I said that in my life, I never thought that even one day I was ever going to touch an iPhone. And he was like, very soon you're going to own one. So he drove off and he left me with the iPhone and the $100. I then returned back home. When I returned back home, I was seated with my parents because we used to have only 2 rooms. My mother and my father, they used to sleep in the other room. Then me and my siblings, we would sleep in the other room. That is where we used to cook as well. So we were sitting there. Everyone was excited, including my father. My father was just working as a gardener, but on a temporary basis. So he had returned back from work. He was very tired. And then that was when my mom asked me why I was so sad, because I was really sad. I kept on thinking about what this meant. This man, I did not even know him, but yet he had told me that he was going to change my life, and he had already given me money. I was looking at my young sisters. They were busy preparing beef because I had gone to the butchery and I had bought a pack of beef, and we had last ate beef, I don't know how many months before that day. So everyone was so excited. Even cold drink, we did not even know what cold drink tasted like. So my mom kept on asking me why I was so sad, yet everyone was happy. That was when I went outside. She followed me because I was scared to tell my mom that I had met a man who was promising me heaven and earth in front of my dad. When we went outside, that was when I took my small bag. I took out an iPhone and I said, Mom, this phone was given to me by this other man. He's saying that he's in love with me. My mom was so happy and she was like, what did you say to him? I did not even know what to tell her. The very next day, the man called me. I saw a number written Charles that was calling, and then I picked up the phone, and my mom was really close to me. She was like, answer, and put it on loudspeaker. So then that was when the guy said, hello babe, how are you? I am in love with you. I miss you. When am I going to see you? That was when my little sibling was like, she says that she loves you too. And I was very shy to tell this guy that I was in love with him. And what was disturbing me in my mind was like, this guy, with the way that he is rich, I had dated guys before of my own class, and they used to say that even though I had a good body structure, but I did not have a goose face that went with a beautiful body. So another guy used to say that you are only beautiful from the waist going downwards, but going up, you are not so beautiful. So the guy was so toxic, and after I had dumped him, I had lost my self-confidence. I never thought that another guy who was rich would love me. So the guy told me that he was in love with me. My mom forced me to say yes. He then bought a laptop, a brand new laptop for my little sister. And life was so beautiful. Within a month, Brother Nashim, this guy, he took me out of the place where we were staying. Me and my parents, we started staying in an area that is called Brook, like an area where a lot of people stay that are rich. I never thought that my parents, one day, they would end up staying there. And then he told me that he wanted my parents to go to the rural areas where he was going to build a very beautiful home for them, and we're going to take care of them each and every month. So Brother Nashim, this guy, I used to go to his place and I would see him doing some rituals, and I never understood anything. He told me that he hated a woman that prayed. I used to go to a church that is called AFM, and he said that he did not want a wife that was going to church and that was prayerful, because his ex-wife used to cheat on him with a pastor. So I obeyed and I stopped going to church. I never prayed. So there was a room where we used to go and we would do some rituals, and he told me that he was a ritualist. I even told my mom, and my mom then said, so what? It does not matter. He had told me that we were forbidden to have babies because he had gone to Mozambique and he had been given some charms after things had gone wrong. That was when he went to Nigeria to do another ritual, and then that was when he was told that you can never have a woman fall pregnant for you, otherwise she dies. So he told me that if it was going to happen that I fall pregnant, chances were very high that I was going to die. So me and this guy, we kept on staying together. Ritual money, Brother Nash, will never do anything for you. That woman, she claims that she has so many cars. I used to have a lot of cars, but where are they right now? I am working in South Africa as a maid. I don't even have anything. Speak of any tourist destination in this world, I will tell you what that place looks like. This guy used to take me there. I would go with my mother and my father and my siblings. But right now, my father and my mother, they work in their garden in the village. We are very poor. Anything that this guy gave to my parents after we had divorced, it all vanished away. I walked out of his mansion with nothing. When I came to South Africa, that was when I started from the foundation, and I built my parents in the village a 3-roomed house. Yet I was someone that was very wealthy, staying in a very big mansion. When I nearly died, this is what happened. It was a mistake. The guy had told me that he did not want me to have that Jadel, the one that they put on your left arm, the implant. And he said he did not want me to go and get an injection because it would mess up his system. So I would always take these birth control pills. But I forgot to take those birth control pills. It was an honest mistake. It was a mistake. I missed my pill 1 week. I was so scared to tell him, and I said, what else is going to happen? I'm not going to fall pregnant. And then that was when I fell pregnant. I was like, oh my God, I have fallen pregnant, when I thought that I was never going to fall pregnant. And I said, does it even matter? It does not matter. He's my husband. We got married. So let me just be pregnant for my husband. Oh, Brother Nashim. One day, I felt so much cramps. I was bleeding heavy. I was vomiting. I was dizzy. I woke up and I saw that there was a demon that was in our bedroom. This demon, it was standing by the edge of the bed. It vanished. Then that was when it appeared. It was standing on the side where I was sleeping, looking at me. And then that was when I woke up. I was in hospital. I had lost too much blood. I nearly died because of that miscarriage. The guy then said to me, I do not want you to die. We cannot continue to stay together anymore. You have messed up your own side of the rituals. We need to have a divorce. I walked away. But before I had divorced this man, I tried to hang on to this occultic man, thinking that maybe I was going to be okay. But the devil will never give you anything for free. At night, I would hear babies crying in my sleep. I was always on my period. I lost all appetite and I was getting thin. When I would be walking, people would think that maybe this woman is HIV positive. My hair started falling out as if I had cancer. And then that was when I decided that it was enough. You know, that big mansion that made me to feel so proud, that made me to mistreat my maid, all of my husband's workers. I could not even sleep in that mansion anymore. I would go out and sleep in the tool shed. So I had told the gardener to remove all the wheelbarrows, including the shovels and some of the tools that you would use in the garden. So I would sneak out late at night. Then I would take my blanket and I would go and sleep in that little tools shed. There was this other time when the gardener had gone back to his village. I said, instead of me suffering and sleeping in this small tools shed where I can't even stretch my legs, let me go and sleep in the gardener's cottage. Brother Nash, I went there, but I came out of that cottage. I was running. I was being chased by this other creature that I can't even describe. Then that was when I said, this is the time for me to walk away. My parents were given money by my ex-husband. You know, when you buy a suit, there is this other bag that comes with the suit. And that is the bag that my husband filled with US dollars, and he gave the driver to go and give to my parents. My parents could not even do anything with that money. The money just vanished, and I said, enough is enough. If I keep on staying with this man, I am going to die. There was no more peace at that house. Even though it was a beautiful mansion, I chose to walk away. I came to South Africa, where I am working right now as a maid. Sometimes I get so scared. I'm like, all those people that used to work for my husband that I used to mistreat, if it happens that one day I come across them now that I am poor, what are they going to say to me? So please pass my message to this woman. she can do what she wants for now. I know that it is difficult for another person to tell her to do what she does not want to do, but there is going to be a day when she is going to see that there is nothing good that will come out of the rituals that her husband makes her to do. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo,